Lucas, you said that your wife was into cycling before you, right?
Yeah, that's actually how I got into biking. Is my wife Jessica just introduced me to the sport. She actually took me out mountain biking. She had just bought a new mountain bike herself, and then I went and bought a mountain bike and just loved it right from the get-go. Before then, all the biking I had really done had been on a lesser brand, department store type bike that was, on all my road riding. I'd ride through the city anywhere I'd ride, and I didn't realize that, or just maybe I realized but never experienced the fact that you can get a bike like this and end up having a much faster, go further with less energy, a lot funner time if you're riding on roads, and just finding out that there's bikes built for specific purposes rather than, just one size fits all kind of thing. And so, mountain biking just got me hooked. My brother-in-law worked at a bike shop in Columbus and helped me get a Specialized Rock Hopper as my first nice mountain bike, and we'll continue to do that. And then also got a old Trek road bike when I started getting into that, and rode that around for years. And before I got fit, and then realized how horribly it fit me. But it all kind of goes back to my wife introducing me to, the first time we went to the Canonsburg State Game area. And that's when I kind of got hooked on it. Hadn't been mountain biking before, hadn't been off-road. It's basically, tooling around, maybe a little bit of commuting, or, just riding through the city. But, and then I just realized how much fun bikes could be as recreation. And also for utility and everything. So that's how I got into biking. I have to have my wife to thank for that. I have to say that I'm probably more of a mountain bike person. If I lived right next to a trail, I'd be out on it every day. But I live in the city, and so it's much easier to just jump on my road bike and go. And come this season, getting to ride this more and more, it may sway my opinion on whether I'm a road biker or a mountain biker. But currently, I just enjoy getting out on the trail, getting dirty, and I have a full suspension mountain bike that I just tear apart.
What model is it?
It's a Giant Trance. It's a 26-inch full suspension mountain bike that is a little bit more meant for play rather than racing, but it kind of goes back to the idea of why I got the Roubaix too. Don't consider myself much of a racer. I am competitive, and I do enjoy going fast and going faster than others if possible, but when it comes down to it, I'd just rather have fun and be comfortable. So when I go out on the trail, full suspension, 26-inch mountain bike, I can go quick, I can climb hills, but I can also take it off a few jumps and have fun and be comfortable doing it, instead of like a hardtail having to feel like I need back surgery by the end of the ride. And then, with the Roubaix, I didn't get a tarmac because I'm not racing. I'd just rather go on longer rides where I can just stay comfortable for mile after mile.
Did you have a fitting done?
Yeah, I had a fitting, which is very integral to your experience. Again, on my original road bike, the Trek, it was extremely long and extremely low for my body style. I'm relatively inflexible, so it's hard for me to sustain a position of being really long and low. And so, again, the Roubaix being more of a comfort road or endurance road style is going to, on average, be higher and shorter, so you're in and up more. And because of my inflexibility, which I found out through the fit, this fits me much better, so it allows me to hold my position much longer, which keeps me comfortable and fresh for longer. I've done long rides. Delmac, it's ride from Lansing to Mackinac Island over 4 days. Its average is 80 miles a day. I did that with my wife a couple years ago, and then I've also done a ride from Grand Rapids to Chicago in 3 days, which turned out to be about 360 miles in 3 days, so about 120 miles a day, which was my most intense ride that I've done. But then this coming year, I'm doing the 24-hour challenge in Middleville, Michigan, which is 8 a.m. Saturday to 8 a.m. Sunday. You ride 24 hours, as many miles as you possibly can. And we'll see. I know I'm going to go further than the 120 miles I did in the one day in Chicago. I would hope to get somewhere around 300 miles, but that remains to be seen. I'm just going to push myself as long as I can go. So that's something to look forward to, and that's another reason I got this is just to be a little more comfortable for a 24-hour long ride.
What advice would you have for someone that has never ridden a bike from a bike shop and do they not know what they're missing?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, it goes back to when I'm talking to people about bikes on the floor. You realize more and more how many people just don't, they've only ridden a mountain bike with big, fat, wide tires, knobby tires that gives you a lot of resistance and takes a lot of energy. And that's great for, certain types of terrain. But if you're just on road or just on pavement, there's a bike that makes it a lot funner, a lot more comfortable, a lot easier. And you can cover distances and have adventures. And I feel like, in general, most people just have never seen that or experienced that, and don't realize that there's, or just haven't tried it. Maybe they realize that there's road bikes out there, and it can be easier on them, but it's a huge difference once you actually get on it and feel it. And I think that was it for me, to get on and feel like how easily you float over the pavement on a road bike as compared to a mountain bike. It's something that has to be experienced.